Ukrainians! Stop killing Ukrainian children! Save Ukraine! Save the world! Save Ukraine! Save the world!
Peace for Ukraine or you reign now. Russia, just go home.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Programele noastre oferă multe limbi. Vă puteți uita pe suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Mary Jackson's careful and precise handmade calculations assisted in charting the course of many revolutionary space missions and helped the U.S. put a man on the moon. Scientist Mary W. Jackson, NASA's first African-American aerospace engineer. Continue watching to find out more.
We're go for landing. Altitude 4,200. Houston, you're go for landing. Over.
It is very well determined that, from both the worldly and spiritual point of view, to adopt a vegetarian way of life is not only desirable, but is indispensable. Dr. Hukamchand Bharil, PhD, vegetarian.
Good day, beloved viewers. I'm Derek. With joy, the sincere American Virgin Islanders wish you every success in the shift to a vegan world. Welcome to today's program, entitled Scientist Mary W. Jackson, NASA's first African-American aerospace engineer. There's an old adage that promises a job well done is a life well lived. And scientist Mary Jackson was living proof of its profound truth. As a member of an ethnic minority, Mary Jackson boldly set out to change the reality of her times. She trod where no African American woman had gone before and succeeded where others had not. She made history becoming the first African American aerospace engineer at the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA. Mary Winston Jackson was born in 1921, the daughter of Ella and Frank Winston, in Hampton, Virginia, USA. The forests and meadows of Hampton were once home to the indigenous Cocotan Nation. In this natural paradise, nut-bearing beech, hickory, and oak trees thrived alongside deer, otter, and beaver people. It was not until the early 1950s that Hampton property owners began to farm their lands and tragically logged their trees for timber. Such was the environment Mary grew up in. Her hometown had a population of approximately 6,000 between 1920 and 1950, and it played host to historical and cultural institutions like the Fort Monroe National Monument and the Hampton Coliseum. Hampton was also the site of America's first continuous English-speaking settlement.
Macho Man? Aha! You are a vegan!
A brilliant student, Mary Jackson graduated with the highest honors from the African-American George P. Phoenix Training School. She then earned double bachelor's degrees in mathematics and physical science from Hampton University, then Hampton Institute, in 1942. After her graduation, she took on several jobs. She started out as a math teacher at an African-American school in Maryland. Returning a year later to Hampton, she worked for a time as a bookkeeper at the National Catholic Community Center and later as a receptionist at the Hampton Institute's Health Department. In 1951, at the age of 30, following the birth of her son, she accepted a secretarial position at the office of the Chief Army Field Forces at Fort Monroe. After several career changes, Mary finally landed a job at the Langley Aeronautical Laboratory, a facility of NACA, National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics. In 1958, the laboratory, officially renamed Langley Research Center, came under NASA's jurisdiction.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses, no more hurting, no more murdering them to eat, to lab test, or for any reason at all. Be vegan, make peace, so be it.
Mary Jackson worked in the segregated West Area computing section as a research mathematician, known at the time as a human computer, a person performing mathematical calculations before electronic computers were commercially available. It was the careful and precise handmade calculations of the women human computers of NASA that charted the course of many revolutionary space missions and helped the U.S. put a man on the moon. Her 2 years as a research mathematician at Langley Aeronautical Laboratory turned out to be a pivotal point in her career. An engineer, Kazimierz Czarnecki, proposed that Mary Jackson come to work for him to help test a 4-foot by 4-foot or 1.2 meter by 1.2 meter supersonic pressure tunnel capable of pushing out 60,000 horsepower wind force, blasting models with winds close to twice the speed of sound. Mary accepted the challenge, excited by this hands-on approach to conducting experiments. Kazimierz Czarnecki further suggested she join a training program that would significantly advance her professional career, transitioning her from mathematician to engineer. Mary Jackson again accepted, deciding that she had the capability and her credentials were not technically different from other engineers at NASA. This engineer dream was doable. Trainees in the program undertook graduate-level math and physics in after-work courses run by the University of Virginia. Since the classes were held at the then segregated Hampton High School, Mary Jackson needed special approval from the city of Hampton to join her all-white peers in the classroom. Hidden Figures is a movie released in 2016 that celebrates the successes and hardships in the lives of 3 pioneering women, one of whom is Mary Jackson. In the film, the court explains to Mary that it is unheard of for an African-American lady to attend a white school.
Hampton High School is a white school, Mrs. Jackson.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm aware of that.
Virginia, still a segregated state.
Your Honor, you of all people should understand the importance of being first.
How's that, Mrs. Jackson?
Well, you were the first in your family to serve in the armed forces, U.S. Navy. The first to attend university.
What's the point?
I plan on being an engineer at NASA, but I can't do that without taking them classes at that all-white high school. And I can't change the color of my skin. So I have no choice but to be the first, which I can't do without you, sir. Your Honor, out of all the cases you're gonna hear today, which one is gonna matter 100 years from now? Which one is going to make you the first?
With that kind of bravado, Mary Jackson got her way and was admitted into the engineering training program.
Vegans, God's true children.
Courageous viewers, let's take a moment to thank all scientists, forwarding our knowledge positively for the well-being of our planet despite challenging conditions. We'll be right back here on Supreme Master Television.
Peace for Ukraine or Urain.
Welcome back to scientist Mary W. Jackson, NASA's first African-American aerospace engineer. Mary Jackson earned her well-deserved promotion, becoming NASA's first African-American female engineer in 1958. Effects of nose angle and Mach number on transition on cones at supersonic speeds, her first co-authored report, was published the same year. In close to 2 decades, Mary Jackson authored or co-authored approximately a dozen research reports detailing the behavior of air boundary layering around airplanes. Though her engineering career had been fulfilling, realizing that female professionals would not be able to move further ahead into management level, she took a leap and opted for a career change. In 1979, she resigned her engineering position to become Langley's Federal Women's Program Manager, responsible for the hiring and promotion of the next generation of all of NASA's female mathematicians, engineers, and scientists.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. Ecuador is one of them. Ecuador.
Ecuador, Organic Integral Penal Code, Article 249 and 250. This article contains provisions to punish the abuse of an animal person companion, with a penalty of up to 100 hours of community service, and to punish causing the death of an animal individual companion with a brief prison sentence. Article 250 also punishes the organization of dog-people fights with a short prison sentence. The Constitutional Court of Ecuador ruled that wild animal individuals have the legal right to exist, not to be hunted, fished, captured, collected, extracted, kept, retained, trafficked, marketed, or exchanged, develop their natural behaviors, and to be protected from disproportionate cruelty, fear, and distress.
Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses. No more hurting. No more murdering them to eat, to lab test, or for any reason at all. Be vegan. Make peace. So be it.
Mary Jackson sat on boards and committees of many organizations, including NASA. Named Langley's Volunteer of the Year in 1976, she chaired one of the center's annual United Way campaigns. Mrs. Jackson was honored for her leadership and service by multiple charitable organizations, with accolades such as the Apollo Group Achievement Award in 1969, the National Technical Association's Tribute Award in 1979 from the oldest African American technical organization in the United States, and the Daniels Alumni Award for Outstanding Service to Disadvantaged Youth. She also served for more than 3 decades as a Girl Scout troop leader. Her open-door receptiveness was stabilizing for young Langley recruits seeking to gain a foothold in a new town or a new career. For Mary Jackson, science and service always went hand in hand, and she was known as a gentle lady, wife and mother, humanitarian and scientist. In 1985, at the age of 64, she retired from Langley. Mary Jackson is known for being the first African-American woman on the NASA team that calculated flight trajectories for Project Mercury and the Apollo program in the 1960s. In the 70s, as a service to the community, she helped the youngsters in the science club at Hampton's King Street Community Center build their own wind tunnel for conducting experiments. She stated the following in a piece for the local newspaper.
We have to do something like this to get them interested in science. Sometimes they are not aware of the number of black scientists and don't even know of the career opportunities until it is too late.
Wonder Kids? Yeah, you are vegan.
Mary Jackson departed this world on February 11, 2005, at the age of 83. In 2019, scientist Mary Jackson was posthumously awarded the Congressional Gold Medal, one of the highest civilian awards in the United States, in honor of all the women who contributed to the success of NASA during the space race. In a press release on June 25, 2020, NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine declared,
"Today, we proudly announce the Mary W. Jackson NASA Headquarters Building. It appropriately sits on Hidden Figures Way, a reminder that Mary is one of many incredible and talented professionals in NASA's history who contributed to this agency's success. Hidden no more, we will continue to recognize the contributions of women, African Americans, and people of all backgrounds who have made NASA's successful history of exploration possible."
He added,
"Mary never accepted the status quo. She helped break barriers and open opportunities for African Americans and women in the field of engineering and technology."
Mary Jackson was an unsung heroine that finally received her day in the sun and will continue to be remembered for her remarkable achievements in aeronautics, paving the way for future generations to have equal opportunities.
Vegan side effect, you'll have more energy.
Cherished viewers, thank you for your wonderful company. Coming up next is Sacred Plants and Herbs, Healing Body, Mind, and Soul, Part 2 of 2, here on Supreme Master Television. May your future be bright and your days tranquil.
Russia, go home now.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds, have and Godspeed.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/MOS.